Selamat datang ke International Smart Manufacturing Forum and Exhibition 2025. Sekali lagi saya ucapkan selamat datang ke International Smart Manufacturing Forum and Exhibition 2025. We would like to welcome all guests to our forum today. We are going to begin our second session. Now, the topic is cyber resilience in advanced manufacturing practice. Our moderator today is Puan Siti Faradilah Dato Aslah, Council Member of the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport Malaysia. Please be welcome on the stage. Our second panelist today is Engineer, Technologist Dr. Anuar Mohamed Kassim from UTeM. Please be welcome. We would like to welcome also our second panelist, Mr. Yun Kit, Vice Chairman, FMM Industry 4.0 and Digital Economy Committee, Federation of Malaysian Manufacturing, FMM. And last but not least, we would like to call Technologist Samsuri CMB, Head of IT Security and Governance, Smart Cells, subsidiary of MBI Corporation Selangor. Please be welcome. Now I will hand over the event to the moderator. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nabil. Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to all. My name is Siti Faradila and I will be your moderator for this forum. We have just witnessed the launch of International Smart Manufacturing Forum and Exhibition by the Chief Secretary of MOSTI, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Seri Haji Hasnul Zamzam. So, this session is a forum titled Cyber Resilience in Advanced Manufacturing Practice. Right. Before we begin, there's a few housekeeping gentle reminders for you. Kindly ensure your phones are switched to silent mode. And we will not be taking any questions during the forum, but there will be a Q&A session at the end. So if anyone from the audience have a question, please hand over your question to the MC and I will read it during the Q&A session at the end. Okay? Right. Good afternoon, distinguished guests, panelists, participants. Let me begin with a thought from Klaus Schwab, founder of the World Economic Forum, who once said, "In the new world, it is not the big fish which eats the small fish, it's the fast fish which eats the slow fish." In the context of cyber resilience, that means survival isn't about size or strength. It's about speed, adaptability, and preparedness. Now let me illustrate. This little device knows more about me than most people. My emails, my messages, even where I am right now. And here's the unsettling truth. Someone across the world could break into it right now without me ever realizing it. Now scale that up. If hackers can do this to a phone, what about a factory floor filled with connected machines, sensors, and supply chains? Imagine production lines suddenly frozen, deliveries missed, safety system overridden, all without a single intruder stepping foot inside. It sounds like science fiction, but it's happening already. That's why we're here today, not to ask if attacks will happen, but when, and more importantly, how ready we are to bounce back. That's exactly why this discussion is both timely and urgent. I'm reminded of what former US Secretary of Defense Leon Panetta once said. The next Pearl Harbor we confront could be very well be a cyber attack that will cripple our power system, our grids, our security system, our financial system. That warning is a reminder that cyber resilience is not just about technology, it's about national competitiveness, economic survival, and trust. First, allow me to introduce Technologies, Dr. Anuar Muhammad Kassim, a senior lecturer and researcher at the Faculty of Electrical Technology and Engineering, University Technical Malaysia, Melaka, UTeM. Dr. Anwar's expertise lies in the integration of operational technologies, OT, with information technologies, industrial control system, and smart manufacturing innovation. He has conducted extensive research on cybersecurity by design, ensuring that resilience is not an afterthought but built into the very architecture of smart factories. With his academic background and industry collaboration, he bridges theory and practice, helping manufacturers design systems that are robust, secure, and future-ready. Next, we have Mr. Yong Yoon Kit, Vice President of the Industry 4.0 Committee at the Federation of Malaysian Manufacturers, FMM. Mr. Yong represents the voice of Malaysian manufacturers, both large and small, and their collective journey towards digital transformation. His role in FMM gives him a unique perspective on the opportunities and challenges facing SMEs in particular, who often struggle with balancing cybersecurity investment against business priorities. He is deeply engaged in policy advocacy, industry collaboration, and driving awareness on how manufacturers can adopt Industry 4.0 responsibly with cyber resilience at its core. Our third speaker is Technology Samsuri CMB, Head of IT Security and Governance at Smart Cells Sdn Bhd. In his role, he leads the design and enforcement of cybersecurity governance across the company, ensuring the policies, frameworks, and compliance standards are effectively implemented. His expertise lies in identifying vulnerabilities, strengthening governance structures, and aligning cybersecurity strategies with both operational and regulatory requirements. With years of hands-on experience on managing IT risks, Technology Samsuri is also the president of International Society of Automation, ISA, and he will bring with us the perspective of someone working on the front line of enterprise security. Right. Let us begin with the first question that I would like to ask to Technology Samsuri lah.
Not ready yet.
Yes, because you are the president, the newly elected president of ISA. Can we hear what is ISA about, and from industry standpoint, how prepared are Malaysian manufacturers to handle sophisticated cyber threats and the biggest gap you can see in the current practice?
Assalamualaikum. Thank you very much. Let me just introduce myself. I'm Samsuri. I'm a president of International Society of Automation, a professional body that was created in US around 1940. So it's been around for a long time. So Malaysia is one of the fastest growth ISA chapter in Asia because of the membership drive that we get from industry and also student, in fact. May I know right now, just look at the age of the audience right now, how many of you are student? You look very young. None of you are student. Okay, next one. Anybody you working with cybersecurity? None. Okay. Now I'm going to try to relate to what kind of depth I need to talk about in order to understand cybersecurity. So anyway, back to the question, right? In Malaysia, I would say based on my experience, I work in a big project for Tenaga Nasional, for the Petronas, Bank Negara, for the money kilang duit, OT, Operation Technology, ICS. Been doing this for a long time around Asia region. Cybersecurity in Malaysia, in IT and OT, I would say that in IT, much better, much more matured. But in OT, like I would say most of the country in Asia Pacific, we are quite behind due to the awareness, due to the regulation. We do have a strong regulation now, but it just come up recently. And in terms of investment in the OT, I would say a local company, the investment is quite low compared to multinational. One of the reasons why create a lot of awareness from the ISA, talking to CSM, Cybersecurity Malaysia, going to NACSA, basically to create awareness at the regulatory point of view, and also to have a collaboration with both of this body for people like what you have here, basically manufacturer, people working with the company to strengthen your cybersecurity posture to ensure business continuity. As you mentioned just now, resilience is very important. Again, it's not just cybersecurity. Remember recently, we have also a couple of years ago, we have a big issues on people cannot go to work, right? So this is the syndrome where whatever issue you have in terms of diseases, for example, where you cannot go to work, people have to move to digital. When you move to digital, you have to make sure you are ready with cybersecurity. If not, you expose your business for new technology, but not secure. So it end up can kill your business, disrupt your business, and when you hit ransomware, there are so many companies, you can read it in the internet, that go bust. Basically, they just quit. They cannot operate anymore. We all this, they've been sued by the customer, sued by the regulatory. They just years and years the business, they just close down the business at all. So cybersecurity is something that you cannot take for granted. It's a real issue. Previously, I think you heard about the incident, but you never seen it. At least in Malaysia, now pretty much quite common, right? You got DBKL, less than 2 months ago. You have so many companies been hit by cybersecurity breaches. In the OT, I hardly hear anything yet. But there are, this is not a public secret. MAHB, for example, the airport, right? There are so many companies being hit in the IT and the OT. So again, cybersecurity is real. You have to invest in the cybersecurity for the people, for the system, to ensure you have resilient and also business continuity.
Right. Thank you, Tuan Sam. We're talking about how much the company is able to invest in cybersecurity, in strengthening their first defense against threat outside, externally. So I would like to ask Mr. Yong from FMM. So how can FMM support manufacturers, especially SMEs, in adopting an affordable and effective cyber resilience strategies in recent times?
Thanks for the question. So FMM is not a vendor. It's an association of Malaysian manufacturers, now including all manufacturing activities. And we comprise of at least 13,000 members, of which 4,000 are direct manufacturers. So we as an association, we make sure that the industry is well equipped as best as we can. Of course, it's up to the members themselves to then decide what steps to take. Every 6 months, we do a business business conditions survey, and it'll be good to know that a good 48% of them already have cybersecurity systems built in, and another 20% are looking into it. However, if you work out the maths, about 28% say that they either are not looking to it or don't even know anything about cybersecurity issues.
Right.
So that's very worrying. So what we try to do is we make sure that our members are well educated. We hold conferences, and we try to prioritize what cybersecurity is required for our member companies. But you have to be empathic to our member companies, especially the small ones, because most of them have got so many other business problems. So for example, in that business condition survey, there are 20 other high priority issues which they make higher priority than cybersecurity, which include depreciation of ringgit, product, new products, how to come up with new products. Is there something wrong with this mic? Hello, yes. Okay, this is clearer, yeah. So input cost is a big problem, competition, demand, getting new customers. So real business problems have got a obviously higher priority over cybersecurity, which to them is just an IT function, right? So it's very common that our members don't have the same, don't place the same importance on cybersecurity as they do with all the other business operations. So what we try to do is we try to hold numerous seminars, expos to help educate our members, of which one of them was which we held with Asia Online Publishing Group, entitled Cybersecurity in Manufacturing, right? Which had a good turnout, and we are trying to do more of that to help educate our members. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Young. I couldn't agree more because when we talk about cybersecurity, people are talking about antivirus. No, 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 no. It's not at all about that. Okay. So, in the context of Industry 4.0, I would like to ask Dr. Anuar the cyber threats that are evolved rapidly. So, from your perspective, critical strategies, not antivirus, yeah. Okay. Frameworks that, like manufacturers, like we have heard from Mr. Yong the real life problems that they are facing. So the question is how to adopt to ensure cyber resilience without compromising production efficiency. Downtime means lah. We have to make money all the time.
Okay, thank you very much for your interesting question. Okay, actually, as we all know, in the era of the Industry 4.0, there is a lot of data is working around us. Okay, so there is not only the physical system that we connected, we also have the cyber. We have the cyber system that connected to the cyber physical system. All right, so that means there is a lot of equipment, for example, the sensors, the IoT system, the robotics, and many of the control system that we have to work with. So that means from there, a lot of data is working on with the whole system that we are working on smart manufacturing currently. So from there, how the challenge is how we can have the cyber security resilient without compromising the reducing the production. So first, actually, we have to have a system that means zero trust mindset. Okay, zero trust mindset. Normally, for the zero trust mindset architecture, we never trust any of the system that have been provided. So that means we have to be aware there is cyber attacks and etc. So because of the data that we have currently is too much, and we are open for any cyber attack from outside. Okay, now before this, for example, if don't have the internet, so that means people cannot come into our system. But since the cloud system and etc. is become into our open world, so everything can be attacked outside. So that means everything is installed that have been working with the IoT system or the cyber physical system need to have the multi-factor identification, for example. So other than multi-factor, we need to have something like, for example, the physical key that will be integrated with the authentication. So that means if there is any attackers come into the system, there needs something to physically stop them. To make sure that everything is not go further until it will damage all the system that we use. On the other hand, there is some methods. The second one is the network segmentation. For example, network segmentation. If we have the segmentation in terms of our OT and also IT, as mentioned by the Mr. Samsuri, okay. So if we have like that to segment it based on the each of the departments, then it's easier for us to stop any of the cyber attack. So that's a thing that due to the network segmentation. And another thing is based uh, on the standards. For example, the IEC 62443, is I'm not mistaken, the multi-layer system that can be adopted in our system to make sure that there is no what we call it, there is some layers that need to be penetrated to make sure that our system will be attacked by the cyber attackers. And another one is, for example, the most of the cyber attacks sometimes it's happen due to human error and etc. But the awareness of the cyber attack based on the system we develop and also with the employees that we have, also we need to have some training, instance training, to make sure that current war is not by the physical things, but it's coming from the cyber. Okay, thank you. I think that's all for me.
Right. Yes,
May I just
Tuan.
add
Please,
on
please.
that? I just mentioned just now, it's true. The IEC 62443 is basically a standard mainly for the manufacturing, the operation technology in the ICS. Just to share, organization, for example, big organization like a TNB, Petronas, even Bank Negara, we are using and we are complying to the IEC 643, make sure that we have multiple layers of defense. We are doing all the best practice based on the old architecture of Purdue, and also going to the whole concept of the IEC. One of them, what I want to share is very big issues, or not on the customer, but on the supply chain. So if you guys, for example, in supplying services and equipment to any particular vendor like TNB, Petronas, or Bank Negara, you have to ensure that your level of cybersecurity maturity, readiness, preparedness, the same level or higher than customer. Because nowadays, if your equipment or the supply chain is insecure, you might infect the customer cybersecurity posture. That's happening around the world. The customer have very strong cybersecurity, but then your vendor and supplier, mostly on the remote connection, when they going to the OT network, and then that's where the infection come from. So it's very important for you guys in terms of the vendor to ensure your cybersecurity posture is as what expected by the customer. It's basically for competitive edge. If you remember a long time ago, ISO standard become very important for you to export your equipment. Now, soon, that cybersecurity requirement will be one of them. Just having a good product without cybersecurity, you're not going to be surviving in the next era of cybersecurity issues.
Thank you, Tuan, for the addition. Okay, as I understand it, also like cybersecurity is also part of governance in enterprise-wide requirement. And recently, for public listed companies, they are required to submit requirement that also include governance, which a subsector under it is a cybersecurity punya resilience. Okay, so having said that, when we are exposed to open data, which is happening all over the world now, we cannot deny that the importance of open data in our everyday lives. I mean, a small thing such as this is an open data example, I would say, the best one. But towards an enterprise and industry-wide collaboration, to Mr. Yong, this question, yeah? How do we ensure this consistent cyber resilience across the supply chain, as mentioned by Tuan Samsuri just now, your vendors, for example, you are communicating with them, you are interacting with them, like how do we ensure these threats are can be contained as soon as possible within your own organization, within the supply chain network itself, please.
Okay, so FMM plays an important role in collaborating with everybody across and along the supply chain, because we make sure that we are in touch with, from of course the manufacturers, the companies, with their local authorities, with their federal governments, with government agencies, and of course the software and hardware vendors. So working with all parties, make sure that everybody's informed of the potential threats, the incoming threats, and the required standards, as mentioned also. When and if a customer needs something, so for example, an elevated security level, then we work with the various authorities to make sure that they get it, or there are policies or there are incentives to move our members towards these levels. So we work very closely with NACSA to ensure that the guidelines and the policies and incentives support the entire value chain. And we also make sure that the small guys and not just the big guys are well involved and well educated as well. So by facilitating this collaboration, advocating supportive policies, ensuring SMEs are not left behind, we hope that we play our small part in ensuring that the cyber resilience of the country is consistent across the supply chain.
Thank you, Mr. Yong. Right. Having said that, we also understand that the factor involved in a cybersecurity threat comes from two factors. Means through from device as well as from the person handling the device. You see, so for Dr. Anuar, right? As our industry moves towards 5.0, more human-centric and AI-augmented system, what emerging cybersecurity vulnerabilities should researchers focus to ensure resilience for future manufacturing ecosystem? Please elaborate.
Okay. Thank you very much. Actually, currently, I don't know, we are already in the industry 4 or not, but yet we still need to go for industry 5.0. So because the data and all the technologies become very fast. Okay, so as a researcher or the universities, so this is we need to think in advance, for example, 5 to 10 years in advance, to make sure that everything is in place and to make sure there is no less of damage if we have something in the future. Okay, for example, as we know, is we go for the industry 5.0, so the ubiquitous internet and everything, the IoT is everything will be in the place. So then plus with the AI, AI that become emerging technology currently and it's become very important in every of the decision making, for example. Okay, so that means previously everything we have to make a decision based on people, but now we want to have the automation on the production or manufacturing or anything, including the smart cities, for example. So that's why everything need becoming into the AI, and AI is adopted and this will be given much authority for the system to make the decision itself. However, since the Industry 5.0 also will be open for the cyber attacks and etc., so we need to have some focus in the future to make sure that these things will not be happen. If it will be happen, then we need to have something like recovery, okay, to make sure that everything is less damage. So for example, first I would like to talk about the AI manipulation and the data poisoning, data poisoning. Okay, so in this world, the big data, the big data is become keyword, and all these big data have some, for example, like the thing that we use for training and etc. So if the data that we use as a reference etc. is becoming the poison by the cyber attacks etc., this will be becoming highly affect the manufacturing. Yeah? So that's why if there is AI manipulation or the poisoning on the data, then we should do some work on how we can prevent from this happen. Okay, so another thing is the human machine interface exploits. Okay, because of the human machine interface that we use currently is because we have a lot of things that, for example, to work with the machine, we have a lot of HMI in our smart manufacturing. So from there, we should have some control, okay, to make sure that everything is under control. If there is, because as you know, the cyber attack can come from everywhere. Okay, it can come from the weakest link, yeah, the weakest link. So that's why everything we should have something that to prevent that. For example, like kalau dulu dia kata previously we caught as a virus, right? So now the attackers is coming to the every link that already come into the cloud. Okay, so everything need to be protected. All right. So another thing, we have the edge and IoT device vulnerabilities. Okay, as I mentioned, yeah. So the IoT sensors that we use currently can sometimes we cannot what call it control it because we just buy from the others. From the manufacturers, but from there, if we integrate it into our system, we should understand how we can make sure that everything that we integrate is becoming safe, okay, to be used by the if for the researcher it's just easy lah. No, the impact is not so big. But if we come to the commercialization into the industries, into the governments, it become very big lah. For example, okay, if we are very hot, or kata apa, everyone want to see us, so, want to attack us. So that's a thing that we have to prevent lah. So every items that we integrated into the cloud system should be well protected lah. Okay, I think that's all for now lah for me. Okay.
Thank you.
Can I just add on that?
Please, please. Okay.
Did mention just now regarding the IEC 6443 again, from the manufacturing point of view. I'm as a president of ISA. Again, we have, for example, have a session with TNB to create awareness from their specific organization in the cybersecurity. Next, we're going to talk to many industry. One of them is that's why I'm attending this talk here to create awareness that ISA here in Malaysia to help all the manufacturing industry, including or mostly in the critical infrastructure of the nation that is under NACSA. So we want to help glue together with the end user, with the vendor, and by using all the best practice and also international standard. So again, you guys, if you have any issues on the OT cybersecurity, you can reach out to me, and then we try to organize at focusing on the cybersecurity. Again, the whole idea is to improve the cybersecurity posture for the whole nation, specifically in the manufacturing.
So thank you. So I've heard from these three panelists here the importance of cybersecurity. When I did my postgrad a few years ago in 2019 in cybersecurity and management, one of the biggest challenge is to introduce the role of a Chief Information Officer, CIA. So it's relatively new, CIO. CIO, relatively new at that point of time. So a lot of organizations don't understand what CIO does. You know, what they think what CIO does is, you know, take care of the photocopiers, you know, like the documents only. But what they forgot is the whole network, the whole system in an organization is part of the responsibility of a CIO, basically. Because nowadays, there's no such thing as a not open data. Everything is an open data. Everyone is connected every day in your life. From the moment you wake up in the morning until you sleep at night. The easiest thing, of course, the handheld device, lah, the mobile device, that's what it is. So it's also not just about organization and taking care of the security of the organization, but how do we implement, like once now everyone is aware, like Mr. Yong is working so hard to introduce this awareness of cybersecurity in the manufacturing industry. So once the organizations are aware of these CIOs and the related designations, so they invest. So how do you justify this investment in security? This question is for Tuan Samsuri sebenarnya, but Mr. Yong, you, yeah. How do you justify? Like, do you like both of you lah? I mean, like, how do you implement the KPIs? Like, how do you like measure when you make this investment, the ROI? It has to come back to you.
Well, if you don't, then big trouble, right? So in investment, I mean, a lot of the small companies probably don't see the investment as the ROI being relevant at that time. But once they get hit by a ransomware, once they hit data leaks, once the whole production floor goes down, then it becomes very easy to justify. But until then, unfortunately, it is very low in the priority. So how FMM goes about it, when we approach our members and we try to educate them, we try to say, you know, it's a risk-based assessment system, right? Of course, your critical systems, you really need to make sure that it's resilient. If it's emailing or if it's a mail list, maybe not so much. But you have to balance that between whether it's going to bring down your whole system, it's going to cause a PR disaster, or it's just going to be a few hours of downtime. You have to make sure that you balance how much you put in terms of resource versus what you get out of it. So not every company, in fact, most of the companies have got resource issues, right? Budgeting issues. So you need to be very careful. You can't hire a highfalutin CIO and spend millions of dollars when you don't have that budget, right? It's a balance which every company has to dance. It's not easy, and they just have to make this risk-based approach towards this problem. So how FMM also would like to try to help is whenever there are the cybersecurity companies out there wanting to flog their wares, right, to help sell, FMM will say that, hey, you know, your product may be good, it may not be good, it's up to our members, but if you were to sell, we try to package it and try to make it more affordable. That's how we do it on the private sector. But when we work with the government, we try to make sure that the incentives, grants are relevant to our members, to make sure that they are the burden or the hurdle of going through this cybersecurity journey is a lot less painful money-wise.
That's a good role to play. Tuan Samsuri, you want to comment on this?
Yes, I can give a few of perspective where cybersecurity not just become a competitive edge, but also survival in the cybersecurity world. Few example, okay, one of them, yeah. Look at a car, right? A long time ago, the car doesn't have seat belt, doesn't have airbag, okay? It's designed to move a person from point A, point B. Then security or safety is in there. So they come up with a system, not just having an airbag and seatbelt, but the way they design in such way, they have comfort zone, they have all the sensors, right? So that's after the fact. So new company, when you design a car, they always incorporate a safety part of the design. In same as our software system, if you build a system, a software complicated system without the cybersecurity in design itself, safety by design or security by design, you will end up paying a lot more money in terms of the modification, the changes, and the exposure in terms of cybersecurity. This is where, as you mentioned just now, investment in cybersecurity may help you a lot in the CapEx, in the OPEX, and the maintenance of the software. Eventually, it will help your customer. That's one part of it. Second part I mentioned to you, the cybersecurity compliant, for example, IEC 62443 is quite matured in Europe and US. If you are a supplier, for example, Siemens PLC, you do not have that certification, then you will basically be in big trouble because most of the company that require those kind of cybersecurity will not able to accept your product because your product is not just safety, but it's not secure at all, right? To change the security, to maintain the security as what the customer want, it cost you a lot of money. Believe me, I'm in more than 35 years in software development, so it's not very, it's easy to change the code just to put the cybersecurity after the fact or modification at the end. So competitive edge is very important and able to design it. Back to just one more input that I can give to you on the IoT, at least cyber industrial 4.0 and 5.0, where you have the IoT, OT and IT integration. It's very nice, it's very good, but there is where you have a lot of cybersecurity issues. So when I work Petronas and also Ben Negara, there is something that we really have to ensure, right? Because the IT and OT and the internet, we are securely patch the whole thing, make sure we don't have external penetration or external traffic going to our system. So that's cost a lot of money to ensure the design is correct and to do a regular pen test to make sure the system is correct as designed, because you never know along the way somebody make application on the firewall or on the LAN and on many areas basically that make the basically expose your critical network on the OT to the cyber attack from the external party.
Thank you, Tuan. I mean, since Tuan Samsuri is talking about it already, I know of some cases where the vendor forgot to even close the back door of the system. So backdoor is like when you develop a system from front end to the back end, and then usually the developer will have a back door where they can come in and resolve any issues if they have lah. But some vendors are irresponsible ones, may keep the back door to themselves, either for malicious intent or maybe either one of two lah, bona fide or malafide lah, which is good intention or bad intention lah. So hopefully your vendor is bona fide lah, good intention lah. Okay, so since we're talking about reported incidents and cyber threats in the international industry, so there were a couple incidences reported in the news lately about robotic mechanism went rogue and attacked the human factory worker in China, and cyber attackers sabotage surveillance robots in Russia. So these are the lessons that we have learned from this incident. So what can we do to help the manufacturers strengthen their cyber defense, Dr. Anuar?
Okay, thank you very much for your question. Okay, if now we see all these incidents, so then we know that is everything can be attacked from everywhere. So for example, like human will be harmed, and also a lot of damage can be by the industries. Okay, so due to the production line, etc. So that means this all things, the physical, the surveillance robot, like you said, and also like the robotic arm that have been attacked by the cyber attackers are highly connected with the internet and etc. So that means from this kind of incidents, we can learn a lot of things that we need to have some preparation to make sure that all this cannot be happen in our industry or in our governments. Okay, for example, the main lesson, for example, for the cyber physical convergence risk. Okay, so we can see the robots currently in our world is not a physical only. It's already connected to. It's not isolated machine. Okay, it's already connected to whole the system, the networks. So that means if these are connected to the AI system, the cloud platform and the remote dashboard, so it's open for the cyber attacks from everywhere. So the lesson that we need to do here is, for example, the manufacturers need to have some investment, for example, on the cyber security to make sure that they are not will be penetrated by the cyber attacks and etc. So, for example, in previous, we need to not to use, not to trust everything in our system, and we need to do some multi-factor authentication, identification to make sure everything is in the line. Okay. So on the other hand, the human-centric safety. Okay. For example, to make sure that everything is much of the human-centric need to be important to make sure that everything is interconnected. So that means the AI-driven will be could be mitigate harm. Okay, so that's why in the future, as a lesson to this, we have to build the redundant safety plan to make sure that all these things will be controlled and easy to make sure that the cyber attack is not yet not attack to us. Okay, so on as a moving forward, yeah, so we need to have enable embedded cyber security into our smart manufacturing to make sure that everything that we embed into the cloud system and the IoT system that mentioned by the Mr. Samsuri is all protected, and to make sure that there is no less damage, okay, from being open to the world. All right, I think that's all for me.
Right. As I understand it, in a risk mitigation process, the most important thing is how do you mitigate the risk to an acceptable stage. Not, there's no way, anything can be perfectly eliminated to zero. There's no such thing. But the best thing we can do is to mitigate the risk to an acceptable level. That's what I would understand now. Yeah. At a price. Okay. And how fast you can do it is also depends on the price lah, definitely. But, so before Tuan Samsuri, I would like to just pose this question to Mr. Yong, just a quick one lah, just a small one, like how aligned do you think are the government policies with this incentive with the resilient building ni? What do you think? Just a quick one lah, if you don't mind.
How aligned? Well, it's as aligned as it can get. Hopefully, there's more push, especially when government is pushing for Industry 4.0, smart manufacturing, etc., etc. Not only just for the capex of the machines, which you look around you, it costs a lot, right? But also the systems which comes with it, because usually when it comes to software, grants are not as easy to come by than straight off capex hardware. So understanding that the road to Industry 4.0 is a long one, requires a lot of investments, not only from the private sector. It has also got to come from the government to help, not only just the software, but also the soft skills, right? Learning to become your CIO, getting the whole company to understand security, understanding that your device which you bring in could be a vector, and making sure that you don't fall to social engineering or any other things which can disrupt the cyber resilience.
I agree. Tuan Samsuri, just one short question also, like how do you think governance or cultural shift are needed, cultural shifts to make resilience shared responsibility, not just a IT issue? Because everything they all push to IT only, but the overall organization, they don't care. Then how?
Yeah, just you always heard PTT, people, PPT, people, process, and technology. The reality is the equipment you can buy, people you can train, but people keep on changing. So people is always a weakest link in cybersecurity. Is you can read any of the survey. Mostly, it's all come up to people. People don't understand, people not following orders, people's not sure what they're supposed to do. Quite normal. And this is the issue where you have to have the awareness. You have constant awareness. You have sometimes create a competition. You sometimes create sort of honey pot where your staff that not complying to the cybersecurity requirement. Then you can really have an example of if they are following or understand it. For example, the email phishing threat, right? Quite common. Company HR or cybersecurity department send the email and see how many of staff click the link that they're supposed to do. But as a good example of the testing, how matured of your employee in terms of cybersecurity. So training is very important. It's proven everywhere. I think especially in Malaysia, you need to have a lot more training. But I think the most important is to create awareness of your customers, saying that your salary, your company really depend on cybersecurity. Proven over and over again. If you lose all this been attacked, proven in Malaysia, you will have a lot of issues. And that's why again take a long time to create awareness. You need to train the staff. Not just to level of staff. You have to change your system to ensure that it will be easier for your staff to comply with the cybersecurity requirement. Yeah.
Thank you, Tan Samsuri. And my last short question for Dr. Anuar is, so what role can university and R&D center play in supporting the industry?
Okay, thank you very much for your question. Okay, actually, as a universities, we are open for the industries to be the solution provider or maybe the researcher for the industry. Actually, university is not standalone only for the theoretical, but we are also focusing on the practical, how we can practice into the industry. So if we go only for the theoretical, it's not good for the industry to make sure that is easily adopt into the industry. That's why as a researcher or the industry, we are open for the industry to do a lot of collaboration with the university, even though you are not, for example, don't have the high investment money, for example. We can have such what I call it, the grants, research grant that can work together with the industry. And if you have some problems, maybe you can come to industry to the university to tell what is the problem and etc. So that means from there we can help you to help you in terms of the technology or the what we can develop together to make sure that your problem is become solved. On the other hand, there are also some grants from the university and also some grants from the ministry. And also there are some grants that we can do together, for example, the matching grants. So from there, we can work together and we can, because as you may know, it's, if we only the university, we didn't do the what we the industry problem. It's like a short sendiri lah, short sendiri. So that's why if the industry have the problems and we have the knowledge and we have the techniques, so we can do together with you to solve the problem that we can benefit to the industry and also community. All right, that's all from me.
Thank you. So now I would like to open the floor for any question and answer. Other question. Okay, please. Do you need a mic?
Hello. First of all, thank you, panelists and also moderator. My name is Fahim Niza from K-Youth under Kasana National. So my question is, how do we address the constant push of using AI to make our work better, to make our work faster, but then there's cybersecurity concerns for data leakage when we submit our personal data for ChatGPT and DeepSeek to China. So is this a concern? If it is, what's in line to address this?
Thank you very much for your question there. Again, it's a very important question because people using all this technology, free services, without really understanding the exposure you have. You have this confidential information, you have PIA information, not just ChatGPT. You can use many social idea information. They can expose all personal information from you or other friend with the location, your photos, that can be cybersecurity issues. So understanding the tools, whatever is it, in computer or paper, whatever scammer, for example, calling you, you provide all the information without understanding the true source or verifying, it can expose yourself to potential issues in the cybersecurity. That's why Malaysia coming up with AI, I think some guideline in terms of restricting, for example, the AI, the data that being used by personal or company or government to any organization inside or outside Malaysia, for example. So that's why I think very important, again, it's always important to understand what you're getting into. Whatever you use, you have to understand what the implication. But I understand that's not easy for everybody to think about it. They either, well, do not have time or don't understand. So this is the issue as from national data, cybersecurity, we need to constrain and prevent information flowing out from the country or even be to a bad company that want to make use of your data into something else. So that's why awareness is very important. Regulation also partly what we're going to have. Just to share one more thing, that's the reason why we have this NCCP, National Cloud Computing, I think, regulation. I can't remember what it is. But the whole idea is all these cloud provider, they should have a data center here in Malaysia. So at least it's constrain our data, national data going outside the Malaysia. So this is something I work in a smart cell to ensure that the data that need to be in Malaysia, we should maintain in Malaysia instead of going outside from the cybersecurity point of view.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Tuan Samsuri. Okay, as I understand, the PDPR in the Europe is one of the condition is the data center has to be located within the geographical location of the company itself. So when you collect data from a Malaysian, the data has to be in Malaysia lah. That's what it means, right? Correct, Tuan? Okay. So I think in Malaysia we have not we have signed the treaty, but we haven't actually enforced.
No, they have just for your information starting last year when they know that regulation going to be enforced. That's why a company like Alibaba, AWS, and Microsoft Azure, they're starting to have data center. And when you read since last year, they have a lot of data center coming up, but they launched. Because of that, they already know this, they know what is going to happen, so that's why they prepare. A data center, you don't do it overnight or 6 months, right? So they already know it's coming, so that's why they prepare. And whoever have the data center here in Malaysia, at least 3 center, then there will be a competitive, very, very much advantages from Malaysia point of view.
Right. Thank you, Tuan. Okay, before I think we have come to the end of our forum today, so I hope all the panelists are happy. Have you shared everything that you want, or should I give you a few more words? Okay, before we close, let's return to where we started, to where this phone on my hand. If someone hack your phone right now, what's the last thing that you would like them to see? Any question? Or photo or anything? I'm sure. So these answers remind us that cyber resilience isn't just about firewalls or software. It's about protecting what matters most. trust, reputation, safety, and survival. So in the digital era, survival belongs to those who embrace resilience, not as an afterthought, but as a core strategy. So on behalf of the organization, MIFA, I'd like to thank our distinguished panelists, Dr. Anuar, Mr. Yong, and Tuan Samsuri for their insights. A special thanks also to the organizing team, partners, and all of you for engaging with us today. Together, let's ensure that Malaysia's smart manufacturing sector is not only innovative and efficient, but also secure, resilient, and ready for the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Puan Siti Faradila Dato' Aslam, for the great job in moderating this forum session. For the next, I would like to invite our President of the Malaysian Industry Forward Association, Technologies, Tuan Haji Muhammad Didi Hendra Shah, to come forward to the stage to hand over our memento to all our guest moderator and speakers. Please. Atas. Okay, first, the first memento goes to our lady moderator, Puan Siti Faradila Dato' Aslam. Puan Siti Faradila used to be an EXCO member of MIFA. A big applause to her for doing a good job. Thank you, Puan. Next, our special guest forum panelist, yang bahagia engineer technologies, Dr. Anuar Muhammad Kassim from UTeM, University Technical Melaka, Malaysia. Thank you, Dr. Anuar. Next, we have our special guest from Federation of Malaysia Manufacturing, Mr. Yong Yun Kik, Vice Chairman of FMM Industry 4.0. Thank you, Mr. Yong. And last but not least, Miss Technologies Samsuri CMB, Head of IT Security, Smart Selangor, Smart Cell. Thank you so much, Tuan Samsuri. All right, with that, we have a good photo session for all the invited guests here. A big applause to everyone here. Thank you for joining us for today. With that, that's the end of today's forum session. I think we have the next round at 5. Okay, no more. Okay, that's the end of it for today. Okay. I would like to remind you guys that this event will be happening until Friday on the 29th of August. So, untuk adik-adik, intern K-Youth dan juga tetamu-tetamu kehormat kita, boleh lega-lega. Oh, okay. Saya difahamkan 4:30 kan? Okay. Kita akan ada group photo session with all the special. Ada banner. Okay, so menjemput semua hadirin untuk ke atas pentas semua tak? Okay, photographer will be on the stage. You guys stand up so that we have a group photo session. Depan, sepenuhkan dekat depan. Kita akan bergambar ramai-ramai di depan stage ni. Okay, alright. Okay, kalau boleh kita jemput juga our panelist and moderator to be right at the front row together with our K-Youth interns program. K-Youth is actually a program by Khazanah. Okay. What do we say? guys, thumbs up, ready? Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you. Big applause to everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Yep, thank you. Yep.